Hey, David here. In this short video, I want to demo the concept of conversational forms in the context of large language models. Conversational forms are user experiences that allow users to interact with web services through conversations instead of traditional HTML forms. What we are currently looking at is a chat experience that allows users to submit insurance claims without having to deal with mundane, outdated web forms. By leveraging AI technologies, we can meet users' growing and demanding modern UI expectations. Use cases that are much more complex than a simple form submission can be tackled with large language models, but I just want to focus on the conversational experience of submitting forms online for now. Large language models, such as GPT, have the power to modernize any digital form into a highly reliable and redundant conversational experience. By abstracting away specific implementation details of configuring and controlling the conversation flow, we can develop easy-to-use APIs that any developer can use to modernize their user experiences. As we can see from the conversations on our screen, conversational forms, powered by large language models, are very resilient in their capacity to deal with the vast differences our users can have in their use of language. In contrast to previous generations of chatbot technologies, GPT and language models allow us to reach our goals in less time and do more with less. We can do more with less because configuring our conversational form can be done in a couple of minutes by updating a JSON configuration file. Luckily for us developers, spending days configuring chatbot platforms and integrating them into our websites are long over. We can now get the task done in minutes and achieve outstanding results with a code-first, API-first approach. Configuring an experience is easy if you set up a simple server that intercepts and restricts the conversation flow with an external or an internal LLM. New experiences can be deployed by creating a new JSON configuration and then deploying your API to production. This paradigm can be used to spawn multiple conversational forms tackling different use cases across a web application. Every conversational unit can be encapsulated into its own tiny service. Let's dive into how a conversational form actually works. At a fundamental level, our goal is to allow users to chat with an AI agent that will interview our user to achieve a population of all our necessary fields needed for our downstream task. A few challenges arise. The first has to do with knowing when the conversation is actually done, and the second is parsing the structured JSON from our conversational data. These challenges can be overcome with relative ease by leveraging traditional programming techniques and relying on a little bit of luck in developing an effective prompt. A key element of providing consistent experiences to users is the ability to test and backtest datasets of conversations to ensure our experiences do not deviate from our users' expectations. Quality assurance should be integrated to ensure we are providing high-quality experiences for our users. Testing on a wide variety of user input is vital for the success of any of these types of technologies. To showcase this technology, I developed a simple web app that is parameterized by a JSON configuration file that lets us specify the schema of our JSON data. Inside our fields key, we're going to define an array of objects that contain the specific details of our form. The fields of our form are going to be handled by our conversational agent, in place where traditionally our web HTML form would have handled the user input. By changing the configuration file of our conversation server, we can customize the form for practically any business use case from healthcare to legal and everything in between. Once our structured data is extracted in JSON, we can use JavaScript to call any custom function to handle a downstream task. Given the current state of the modern web, almost any goal can be achieved with an API call, and this is probably what any developer is going to do with the extracted JSON. Given the straightforward design pattern showcased in this video, I hope I made it clear how easy it is to develop robust conversation experiences on the web. Most importantly, I hope I was able to showcase how abstracting away some specific details from our front-end code can ensure consistency across our developer and user experiences. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. Oh, you're here for more? Okay, let's do an overview of the code. Figure out exactly what's going on. So on the backend side, what we have is a simple API that has a base configuration prompt that is populated with a JSON file. The JSON file will contain all of the metadata related to the fields that we want to extract from our user, and our base prompt will take care of initializing and parameterizing the whole conversation flow with GPT in this use case. The API simply will receive a list of messages, process them, return the completion. We're going to want to make sure that we don't return to the user the system configuration or the system prompt that parameterizes the whole flow. On the JavaScript side, what we have to do is just send a post request to this chat endpoint every time the user sends a new message. What we end up doing is sending back the completion for that message that is grounded or anchored to that specific form completion process. And we have to just receive the terminator sequence or the special sequence of characters that we've prompted GPT to produce when the full JSON data has been populated, when the whole conversation contains the data that needs to be structured and is fully structured in backtext at the end of our code. All right, now that's it, and see you later.